Good morning, Kim. Good to see you again.
Morning, Debbie. Good to see you.
How's your day shaping up in Spain over there? Oh,
Oh,
you're almost done your day, actually, probably.
it's
I'm just
the
starting
middle.
mine.
Yeah, it's
Middle,
the middle
okay.
day and
Yeah.
just one thing after another.
Oh, kind of one of those days, huh?
Yeah, one of our
Yeah.
global workers got out of surgery and it went well. And then
Okay.
another global worker was just robbed. And yeah, it's life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you still making the effort to come to our session today, and I know maybe you felt like you wanted to cancel and do something else, but I appreciate the effort, and I just wanted you to know that. So thank you, Kim, for doing that.
Thank you.
So as we get into the session this week, I just wanted to kind of remind you uh, of the technique that I use called solution focused counseling. And one of the ways that it is different is that we kind of focus more on actually finding solutions to your problems. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time hashing over what your problems are and what the history is and all those things. You know, you're not sitting on a couch and I'm not asking, tell me about your mother, right? Like you see in movies. But we are really gonna focus on solutions that you already have, that you are in possession of, because you do solve your own problems sometimes, right? So we're going to kind of focus on those solutions that you already have, and the strength that you have. So I wanted to also let you know, again, just so that you're informed, that I am recording. This is for me to go over with my supervisor to help me be a better counselor, and I'm also going to be taking notes, which it just helps me to organize my thoughts as we go through the session. So just wanted to make sure that you were aware and that you were okay with that once again. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So you're here again today. What is it that I can help you with today?
Yeah. Well, we've been here in Spain now for 6 months, and our international driver's license will no longer be valid. We have to pass a driving test in order to drive here, and I'm just feeling really stressed out by the situation and anxious. I really want to pass because it's so expensive to get the instructor's classes and pay for the tests, and yeah,
Okay.
so
So you're
processing.
feeling, sorry,
Go ahead.
I said, so you're feeling stressed about this process of getting a driver's license. Sounds like it's
Yeah.
a process. Yeah.
Mhm.
For anyone who's lived overseas, we know that anything is a process. You don't just
Yes.
go from A to B. You have to go A through all the other steps, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that can be a process. So you're feeling stress and anxiety. It sounds like maybe there's a little bit of fear as well, involved in this process for you, possibly.
Yeah. Fear that if I can't even drive in the country, how am I supposed to live here? How am I supposed to do
Okay.
ministry if I can't do something as basic as driving?
Okay.
Yeah.
So instead of feeling fear and anxiety, um, you would like to feel confident. I'm sure you obviously know how to drive.
Mhm.
Um, so it's not that you need confidence in knowing how to drive. You would like to feel confident in the process of getting the driver's license, or what would you like to feel confident in?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been driving for 10 years. So
Right.
it's more a matter of feeling confident driving a standard, because
Okay.
I can drive an automatic car, but I've never learned standard. And the city where the test is going to be is built on a hill, and that really stresses me out.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you would like to feel confident in driving a standard, or as they say in America, a stick shift. We don't call it
Yeah.
a standard, but We Canadians know what a standard is.
Right.
So
Mhm.
you would just like to feel confident in driving a standard, something that is new for you.
Yeah, and I'm confident with my teacher too, because my instructor, when she gets flustered, she'll start swearing at me, and I know enough Spanish that I understand those swear words, and then it's also the vocabulary in Spanish for cars. I'm not as confident in those technical terms either.
Okay. So you want to feel confident in driving a standard. That's a really good goal, and that's something that we can eventually measure, that you have gone from not feeling confident at all and feeling stressed to I can confidently drive a standard, even in a city that has hills. I can
Mhm.
confidently drive. So that's a good measurable stated goal that we have, because now we know what we're working towards, right? So, and what would that look like for you to get to feeling confident?
It would look like me having more peace. I wouldn't be anxious leading up to the class. I wouldn't be dreading it. And in the class itself, I would take things in stride more and not feel so panicky.
Yeah. Okay. Who would notice that you were not panicky and that you were feeling more peaceful?
Well, I think my instructor would notice. She,
Yeah.
she would see I'm not there hunched over the wheel like that.
Okay. Yeah. You'd be more relaxed. You would look more relaxed.
Yeah, and she wouldn't
Yeah.
seem like getting nervous about shifting the gears, stressing out about that. Yeah, she would notice for sure.
I'm going to ask you a bit of a strange question, maybe. So let's say tomorrow you have another lesson with your instructor, another driving lesson. But tonight, when you go to bed, during the night, a miracle has happened. And all your anxiety and stress and fear, it's all been taken away. But you didn't know that that miracle had happened during the night. What would be your first clue that something did happen when you went for your next lesson with your instructor? What would be something that you would notice would be different? Does that question make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I think I would go to my lesson with a smile on my face, not this anxious, worried look. I would be more at ease during the lesson. And even if she did swear at me, I would just sort of shrug it off.
Yeah, you would be able to shrug it off. Okay. What else? What else might you actually be doing that would be different?
You mean during the lesson?
Yeah. So you mentioned some things are like kind of internally, but what might you actually be doing that would be some outward signs that would show that this miracle had taken place?
Well, yeah, I think I would be smiling more. I think
Okay.
maybe I would be breathing more in a more relaxed way, deeper breathing, not that shallow, anxious breathing. Yeah, maybe praying as I'm going through the instructions she's giving me, asking the Lord to
Okay.
understand what she's saying. And
Okay.
yeah.
There's who who would notice that something was different?
Well, she would notice. I think my
Yeah.
husband would notice that
Okay.
I'm not so nervous and
Okay.
uptight. My kids would notice, oh, mommy's happier. Yeah.
Okay. So the instructor, your husband, your children, they would all notice that you were happier, that something had happened. a miracle had taken place. So,
Mhm.
okay. Um, yeah, so it sounds like this is a stressful thing for you. Let me ask you another question. So, first of all, how many sessions have you already had? How many driving sessions have you had already with her?
I think 4 now.
Okay. So, this anxiety and this stress and this fear, um, has it happened every single time in terms of the frequency? Yeah.
Yeah, it's every time.
Yeah. Okay. And how intense does it feel for you? So let's say on a scale from 0 to 10, you have 0, this is the worst anxiety I'm feeling about this. And the 10 is like, I'm feeling so confident to drive this standard right now. This is great. I have no fear. Um, where are you, where on that scale are you feeling as far as how intense this anxiety is for you?
Probably a 4.
Okay, so that's not a 0. It's not a
Yeah,
0.
it's
So
not
that's
a 0.
good. We've moved from 0 to 4, or I'm not sure if you have felt a 0, but it's not a 0. So that's good, right?
Mhm.
What do you think you could be doing differently to go from a 4 to a 5, let's say?
What would I be doing differently?
Yeah.
Um, well, the first thing that comes to mind is I would explain to her that the swearing actually makes me feel more nervous and uptight. Um, yeah, maybe I would explain to her that it actually makes it worse.
Okay. And then how might she respond to that?
Hopefully she would stop.
Right. And that would just take a little bit of that stress away if she didn't do the swearing, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, um, we established a goal. You want to be able to drive confidently this standard or stick shift, and you're not at a 0. You're at a 4, and maybe we can go to 5 in the next within the next lesson. And so you've created a goal for yourself of possibly asking her to stop swearing at you and explaining to her that that is actually counterproductive. Does that sound like a, a very doable goal?
Yeah, I think I could explain that to her. And
Okay.
yeah, the other thought that comes to mind is maybe I could ask her to help me get ready to know when to shift gears, like to give me some
Okay.
cues ahead of time. Don't get
Okay.
frustrated with me as I'm fumbling. Tell me, prepare me for that. I
Right.
think I
So
could
that's
do that.
another, yeah, that's another really good goal. And I think it's really important to talk about it the way we are in an environment that's not stressful so that you have a tool ready for when you are in a stressful situation to recall that, because it's going to be hard for you to think of a tool to do as you're in the stressful moment, right? So here we
Mhm.
are talking about it at a non-stressful time so that when that time does come, you can bring that to mind. Okay, this is what I talked about. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to ask her to stop swearing at me and tell her it's counterproductive. And I want to ask her, even before I start driving, could you let me know ahead of time when I need to make the turn or when I need to merge or whatever it is that's
Yeah.
coming up? So those are two really solid concrete goals that you can work on for your next driving lesson. Does that
Hmm.
sound like it has been helpful for you today?
Yes. Yeah, that's been very helpful. Feels like
Okay,
something
good.
practical and doable.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're not asking the world. We're just asking for a couple things, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Well, has that
Yeah.
been helpful for you today? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been my pleasure. Um, I look forward to hearing about your next lesson when we meet again next week. So I Yeah, I look forward to seeing you again. So I hope you have a great week, Kim.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.